going on, dudes and dudettes? So over the weekend, there was a four-star offensive tackle from the state of Utah, Aaron Dunn, who was officially visiting USC as well. And it looks like he's one of the more talented guys out there in that 2025 class, and he left feeling pretty good, feeling like a high priority, and looking to be used pretty well in the offense if he does end up deciding to go to USC. At least he feels comfortable, so that's the only good thing that's come out of that so far. So hoping to be able to sign this guy in the end when it comes to him committing at some point. And there was also a future offensive lineman. I think he's going to be a junior in the fall, but he's one of the more bigger guys you've seen. He's like already 6'7", over 305 pounds, and he's looking like he's going to be a 4 or 5 star. I think he probably is already a 4-star, but he did set up some unofficial visits over the summer. I think he's going to be visiting USC around June 15th, and his name is Jackson Cantwell. I think he also set up an Oregon visit, but mentioned USC in there as well. He's probably going to go to one of their junior days or something like that, so try to get some one-on-one talk with the head coach Lincoln Riley, be able to see how things are going, and hopefully he will be able to decide USC in the future or not. Then there was also a 4-star safety, and I think his name was Lagonza Hayward, and he recently put out a commitment date for August 7th coming up in a couple of months, and he still had USC in his top list, so that's always nice to see. I have not really seen his name pop up or even know if he officially set up an official visit to USC, but either way, as long as you're still in the running, that's all you could hope for. Maybe he's going to set up a future official visit coming up in between now and when he decides to commit, but either way, looking forward to seeing where this guy ends up. Now, one of the more talented 2026 wide receivers, Chris Stewart, did put USC in his top 8 recently. I'm just saying that because right now he is not ranked, but for the type of schools that are looking to offer him already, it does seem like the lowest he's going to be is most likely a 4-star. But either way, always good for USC to go into those future classes and do some recruiting, so not mad about that. Then the most recent safety, the 5-star that visited this weekend, Trey McNutt, did say he feels like USC is going to be a realistic option, and did like and what he did see, and had a lot of high praise for a lot of the coaches and all that stuff. So that's always fun to hear, especially from one of the 5-star guys. I think he said that USC set the tone, which is pretty interesting because I thought he did visit Ohio State last week or pretty recently on an official visit. I could be wrong, but at least it looks like USC is leading in his case so far, so that's pretty good to hear. Then there was a 4-star wide receiver from Texas, Tanuk Hines. I believe that's how you say it. But he said he loves USC. He's from the 2025 class. After his official visit, he said he loved them, and he's one of the faster guys out there in the 2025 class. So he's ranked a 4-star. So he is still talented, even though he is just known as a speedster. But he says USC still believes he could play inside in the slot or on the outside as well. So maybe he does bump himself up in the rankings. But yeah, very fast guy, hopefully coming to USC. Maybe not, we'll see. And a guard from the 2024 class is going to reopen his commitment. I think he was a commitment to Arizona. His name is Jamari Phillips, and he's already heard from a bunch of schools, but USC being one of them as well, which is really cool because maybe they have a chance to get another talented guy from that 2024 class, which I think they've only gotten like 2 guys maybe in that class. I could be wrong, but it's maybe like only 2 or 3. Definitely a lot of transfers, but I think he may have reopened his recruiting because Caleb Love, who was a guard there, was expected to go to the NBA, but I guess even after being at North Carolina for a handful of years and in Arizona, I guess he's not ready enough to go to the NBA for some reason. I thought he's good. He went to and signed with North Carolina. I thought he was ready to be in the NBA, but I guess not. Ex-great USC defensive standout Ronnie Lott did say he had some high praise for the new defensive coordinator. I'm assuming he's talking about D'Anton Lynn, so that's always good to hear that some of your ex-greats are talking good about the coaches that are there now. I don't think he's even really said much about the defensive side, especially when it comes to coaching in my most recent history of those guys that were coaching there. But it's always good to hear that coming from one of the greats, as I said. And then House of Victory did have a signing with, on the women's soccer side, I believe her name is Simone Jackson, one of the better players on the team. It's her second year with House of Victory, and she's a 3-time Pac-12 nominee, was also, or is right now, a member of the Team USA national team. So I don't know if she's like on the main team or one of the under teams about to be into the like main roster, but either way, still very talented girl, not only at USC, but also in the Team USA program, so that's very cool to see. And apparently the men's basketball side are going to be holding what's going to be called the Architecture. I think that's the name of a company. It's called the Classic. That's going to be in Palm Desert, so I don't know exactly where that is, obviously somewhere in California, but they're going to be playing against St. Mary's, and then they'll face the winner of Arizona State or New Mexico, so that's going to be pretty interesting. They're probably trying to get their own thing going, some little mini tournament during the season instead of like always having to go to Vegas or even the Maui Invitational down there in Hawaii or different places like that. I think they even do the Bahamas and stuff as well. At least college basketball does. But either way, it's a nice little thing, so they don't have to travel far. So we'll see how they do. But the women are also doing something else with the same company, Acrisure. I think that's how you say it, but they're calling it something else. They're calling it, instead of Classic, they're calling it the Holiday Invitational. But they will be playing against Seton Hall, the first game, and then against St. Louis, the second game. So don't know exactly how good both those teams are. On the women's side, I think Seton Hall was pretty good, but one of their better players did transfer out. So I don't know how good they are this year, but on the women's side, it's always different who is better and not. It's always so much parity when it comes to where all the better athletes go in the different sports, but that's pretty cool. At least they get to know their opponents right away. Should be a couple of cupcake easy games for them to have a nice 2 wins on their record, hopefully on their way to the national championships. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. Bye. If I don't.